We can just start by finding ourselves right here, feeling yourself become really present in this moment. Whatever you've done before, let's just drop it, forget it. Whatever you're going to do later, we can drop it and forget it. Whatever you think this gathering is about, you can just drop that too and forget it. Just to come to a very, very, very open space, open state. And even take a deep breath and relax. Just let go. Go of any tension. Might even be helpful to just scan your body, and if you feel tension anywhere, this is usually a symbol of tension in the mind. You can just invite full relaxation into your whole being. This moment. You can just keep letting go of the thoughts. Like clouds floating away. we're here to release anything and everything that is limiting. Anything that is seen as a problem. Truth is our goal. We have no problems. And truth will correct all errors in the mind. Each and every error, the truth will correct. Just allow we're here to access the mind where there are no problems. That must be pretty good. Be able to be in this changeless state where there are no problems. I feel there must be kind of a bit beyond the world or above the battleground, just being observing everything. Not get hooked. It's okay to get hooked into something too, but that just shows there is some guilt in the mind. There is something to forgive. And those things or those people that we have to forgive, all we need to do is to let spirit in on it. Invite spirit in to the situation. So we pretty much pray all the time. And we have this situation where we've shared a bit about it before. We've been guided to say yes to purchasing this property with our foundation. And it started last summer, and we agreed to some terms. We signed a contract. We had accepted that we have some time. We heard in our mind, okay, we will pay this property by the 28th of February. And the Spirit was with us, telling us those things. So we signed the contract. And it, in the worldly terms, we could see a problem right now because we have only paid part of the property and February is getting closer. So it could be seen like we have a problem, And so we've just been praying, and Spirit is saying, just trust. Yeah. So right now we are just in prayer for this, in prayer about also that the beings who want to be with us, who want to be part of the journey and do this together, that they will show up, and for this adventure. And we never know what anything is for. So even this situation that seems a bit, complicated, we can actually sit back and trust even this. And I don't know what it is for, but I feel called to share about it. And I feel called to invite. We're so open to people joining us and maybe feeling inspired to support this property and this community and this foundation by supporting Awakening, It's like it's a way to wake up, is to come together and live together. So if someone hears this, even if we share this on YouTube, just if someone really feels it in their heart to join in, support financially, or come and live with us, we would like to hear from you. And we have no investment. We know we will do what Spirit wants us to do. So thank you for praying with us and being with us. Okay, we can open up for sharing. Maybe this was my sharing. Maybe someone else would like to share.
I have this swirling energy again. There is like something unconscious up in my mind. And it's only a little bit of cryings here and there. It's all there simultaneously in this energy. So,
what do you think you're avoiding?
Sorry?
Do you have a little clue on what you're avoiding? What do you feel? What do you think you're avoiding?
Well, one thing I know I'm avoiding is to start sharing Jesus' teachings in public, because I discovered, I follow up on your advice to look into a group on Facebook, ACIM.
Yeah.
So I joined them, and I also noticed how they go about it in that group. And they go home to each other, and they spend like maybe 4 or 5 hours together, having lunch together, going for walks. But I feel so much shame and embarrassment and so inferior.
Even go there with the intention to, okay, Holy Spirit, convince me that these things are not true. Show me these thoughts are not true. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Yeah, I'm scared.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be scared. You can just allow yourself to do it when you feel ready for it, when you feel it. And everything is connected. So even, you're looking at the trauma or the difficult feelings. And I think it's all related, the fear of meeting people, the fear of connecting, it's connected to the trauma from the past. So you're really healing right through by taking those steps. Just by allowing yourself to, first of all, to be gentle with yourself, but to take the steps that you want to take,
Yeah.
You can have the prayer, Holy Spirit, convince me that I'm wrong about those conclusions. About the conclusion that you are unworthy or inferior, just Holy Spirit, show me that this is not true.
Oh yeah, it's good to know I can be that simple.
Yeah.
Sounding in a particular fancy way.
Yeah, it can be extremely simple.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Lena. Let us know how it goes. Sure.
Hello, mighty companion. Lena, you really touched my heart. And I so can relate. And I really like what Barret, you said about, you were talking about healing trauma and also the habit of judging yourself. Oh gosh, I can so relate. I'm always so hard on myself. I want to give you an update, and there is a question attached to it. Last Thursday during the meeting, when I had to make the decision of calling the accounting firm, I'm trying to get some clarity here about trust. My question is, like, what is the guidance in this? Like, I don't know. I get so confused. Because before on Thursday getting to the meeting, I was just trusting, hey, you give to the order that they were going to call, and I'm trusting this. But in the meantime, if you didn't tell me, hey, listen, paraphrasing here, like, it's your responsibility, you have to make sure that you call.
Yeah,
like,
Patricia,
alone and like,
yeah, nothing is random, Have you heard David talk about hypothetical thinking?
Yes, yesterday, yes.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with the Holy Spirit, everything is in perfect order. You're in the miracle, and you were always meant to come to our meeting, where it was meant to say what he said to you. That was not random. But the deceived mind sees everything as random. What if I had not gone to the meeting? What if I had chosen to do that? What if I'd chosen to listen to just thoughts I had before the meeting? All the what if, it's hypothetical. And that's not real. And the whole world is a hypothetical thought in itself, you know, this only seems to be important, very important, you know. And just because it seems to be so important, you're guided. The world seems to be important to us because we believe it's real. We have to be guided, and we are. You were guided. So I think the confusion can be cleared, but it can be daunting to, well, you know, there was just a decision in the moment to come to the meeting, or, you know, you may think it wasn't guided, you may think it was just a random decision. But from the perspective of spirit, nothing is random, you know. And we can't really understand it like in a timeline manner, you know. Then you're going to be so afraid to do the wrong thing.
Eh, boy. Okay, so
Part
okay.
of it that's confusing is that it seems like there's a timeline, and that you can pick in the timeline what you're going to do, and that what you pick in the timeline affects and leads to the next thing that's going to happen in the timeline. But it's actually not really like that. There's only one guarantee in the story of all the timeline, and that guarantee is that you're going to wake up. You're going to wake up from the dream of separation.
Yes.
Everything else is just details.
Okay,
And everything else is leading to that experience.
guarantee it to me. I want to guarantee.
You know, what comes to mind so strongly right now is the Indiana Jones and the search for the Holy Grail. You know, we talk about this scene in this movie a few times where he has to take this leap of faith. He has to take this step out into the canyon. And it looks like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. He's crazy to do this. But he's actually led. He's led and guided to the point where he takes the step. And the step is completely safe, but he doesn't know it until he's taken it.
Yes.
But all the steps he takes in that movie are really just for him to achieve his goal, which is to get the Holy Grail, which we could say is, you know, like enlightenment. He has to take all the steps to get to achieving the goal, because that's all that's real, is achieving the goal. The steps are not actually real. They just seem real. They seem important as we're taking them. But they're just to achieve the end. And the end is accepting the atonement for yourself.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Well, we cheer you on. We cheer you on.
Yeah.
You go to Muna next.
Yes, hello, thank you. I find myself unusually reluctant to share, and I'm feeling a new kind of fear. It's like something solid holding me back, like don't even dare. And I'm trying to solve it by myself until I heard, is it Daniel, saying, I don't have to do it by myself. And I'm like, duh, yeah, I don't have to do this by myself. So and the ego's trying to trivialize it. So I went to my hairdresser yesterday, and he was just pouring out Jesus's instructions. You know, stop interfering, you're a control freak. Take your hands off the driving wheel. And I'm like, oh, I can hear you, Jesus, but I'm reluctant. It's my hair. My hair is very important to me. Anyway, I decided to take my hands off the wheel, and he claimed he knows what to do, what colors to choose, etc. And I trusted him. And then when I came home, I'm like, oh my God, I want to kill myself. I don't want to look like this. You know, I don't want to be blonde.
What's wrong?
Really?
I'm just kidding.
For me, yeah, that's I know you're trying to lighten it up, but I'm very, very caught in the feeling. Yeah, I don't want to analyze it. It just feels like really, really intense kind of fear, and a new kind of fear. And I feel like it's a big deal to expose it, but I just don't want anyone to see me. You know, I hid from my neighbor, the kids were here, I brushed over it, and I don't know why it's a big deal, but it's something to do with my appearance. It's like there's a lot of guilt hung on my appearance. Yeah, I was very tempted to not share, and the Holy Spirit, share, beloved, share, just share it. Like, why do you want to hang on to this fear? So yeah, it's like I have to be super careful with my appearance, and I have to look professional and not smile. But I thought I'll open it up a little bit because it's just a new kind of fear and it's very unpleasant. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is another opportunity to give over the body to spirit, give over the body, the hair to God. So you use this, you know, you use this package, this person, you know, because it's not who you are. So who cares about hair? I cut off my hair. It was longer before, and when I went to the hairdresser, I said, maybe you can leave it a little longer in the front. And then at the end, I discovered she left it a little shorter in the front. So she did the opposite of what I asked. And I thought, okay, I'll go with it. It's this investment in what you look like, or what you know. You don't want to look unnatural. You don't want to look what you normally don't look like. But no, I don't know what the belief is, but it's a good opportunity to allow yourself to just show up and let God use your body no matter what, and let the neighbors see you, let them think what they think, and let yourself be happy and at peace, you know, and release this shame, whatever it is.
It's shame, yeah. I think it's shame appearing as fear, or fear appearing as shame, something like that. And I think it's sort of entangled with my identity. I think that's why it's very, very intense. Normally I'm not that fussy about my appearance, but it's a huge trigger. I'm not going to trivialize it. Yeah, it's guilt-ridden and a lot of shame.
I don't even see really a difference. I saw you cut your hair and you look really nice, but I didn't see you had another color.
I don't know what it is. It's entangled with a core belief about my fake identity. It could be just that, with the fakeness of the body identity so exposed, but we don't only solve it until we air it out. So,
Let it burn through.
Yes. Yeah. Normally I'm all for sharing, but today it was like, no, just frozen. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for raising your hand.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. You're sweet inside out.
Solvay.
Hi.
Hi.
I like to share a thing around asthma and difficulty breathing, and it really comes up. And I had this experience where we were inside, and this how we were starting to clean again, and it's very dirty, very dusty, and I just couldn't breathe. I was just, I was sweeping. I just had to go out.
Totally. I actually feel for you to take a pause right now, even now as you start to share this about your day. Just pause. Just pause. Just breathe now. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe you don't even need to share the whole story about it, but let's just feel this that you're feeling right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's safe. It's safe to relax. Take really deep breaths. It's safe.
There's a kind of a miracle.
Mm.
Maybe that's what I wanted to share. I almost couldn't breathe. I went outside, and Indio, the dog, just came and put his head on my stomach and just looked at me. And I was stroking the dog, and I suddenly realized I had no fear. I didn't connect the asthma with the dog.
Oh,
I was totally gone.
that's a
Yeah.
miracle.
I still couldn't breathe, but I didn't connect it with the dog.
Not allergic to the dog, you're allergic to the past.
Exactly. I think Peter mentioned it and said, you don't see the dog as a dog anymore. It's like I feel a connection with India, so it's not a dog. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That was it. That was what you want to share.
Yeah, I think I want to put this. I realize there's something about believe it or not, I have allergy for dust too. And there's this thing about an old, dirty, dusty house that I have a lot of fear around. And I really have this, I felt so guided to, so inspired to clean it. But when I started, it's just, yeah. But we are doing it. I'm not doing the sweeping anymore. Yeah.
Maybe the house is not a house. If the dog is not a dog, the house also must not be a house.
The dust is not dust.
That's it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You're breathing in healing. You're breathing in light.
Yeah.
Because you're exactly where you're meant to be. You were guided there. It's breathe in the light. And that's it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Very safe. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So just want to share with everyone that last night we felt inspired to go visit Peter and Solveig. We hadn't been there before. We were following the GPS, and we get 1 minute drive away. It's like less than half a kilometer, and the road ends. So I mean, on the GPS, it goes, it seems to connect right to where they're going, but not in reality.
It's a path that is this narrow through bush, it's not a road at all. It's impossible.
We decided to park the car there and basically hike up the mountain, because we had to get up to where they were at the top.
And it was completely dark, and we just see a light up there. We've never visited them. We don't even know if it's their house, but we see far away up on the mountain to see the light of the house.
So we could kind of tell, there's only one house on the map, and it must be them. We call them, and we're like, is that you, that house up on the hill? And then they turn their light off and on, and like, yeah, that's it. They could see our phone flashlights down in the valley below them. And we just felt to keep hiking, keep climbing up, and then we get up onto the road finally, and there's Peter holding the light. It's like we're coming to the light. We're coming together. We're coming together and joining and enjoy. And it was an adventure, but it was beautiful. And I think it's symbolized by us all coming together. And yeah, they're not really being a problem. So
Yeah, it's very adventurous. Okay, Jonas. I think Jonas and Vanessa.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous actually. It's funny. I'm normally not sharing a miracle here, so it feels new to me. But the other day I was having a meeting with my friend Jonas, and me and Jonas, we are beginning to play some of my music together. And I have a lot of guilt around this desire to make and record my own music. And at the same time, I feel like I have a really good connection with Jonas, and it makes it light when I play with him. And at the same time, I can also see this kind of pushing in me, this kind of, come on, why did I spend 6 sessions in the studio and I still didn't come out with a proper result? And so I judge myself for having these thoughts. So anyway, that is an ongoing process for me, and kind of embracing the part of me that wants to make music. And I see it like a little child. I try to just love him, that little Jonas that still believes it's important to make music, and judging it as not like the proper course student. I should be home and doing like Vanessa, like subtitling, and why am I, you know?
Yeah, the ego has a lot of ideas about how you should be to be spiritual, you know. What if it is about being happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very sweet. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can take a breath again and just come back again to present moment. And see if there is anyone else who is feeling if you'd like to share anything. And you don't even have to decide this intellectually or consciously. Let it come if it comes. Yeah, it's me. Let's allow it if it comes.
Yeah, hi. I had an experience a couple of days ago. It's so familiar. It brings me into beliefs stuff. So I went out to dinner with a friend. Brings up like specialness stuff for me. She's so fabulous. Everything's happening. Her life has so much momentum, you know, and she's describing all these things that are happening. And I'm like, okay, I'm just like with her and listening. But then I feel like what happens is I'm not great at like talking about my life. I don't even like really get a lot of enjoyment out of that so much. But I could feel like what I perceived as coming towards me from her. It almost feels like, and this comes up with some people sometimes, whatever, they look at me like, oh, like they feel bad for me. Like there's, oh yeah, how is your mind? How is your mind trained? Like it's as if, and it makes me feel so mad. It's like, you know, I'm lost in this idea of that there are other people, whatever, but it's like, I just feel like I'm being looked at like my personal mind has a problem and they're fine. And I can feel like there's a real deep separation here. I'm not like, I'm like I feel like some kind of competition comes up, or like some defensiveness comes up in me, like, and I want to be like, have you looked in your mind? Like, do you look in there and see what's going on ever? Like, you know, so, but I can tell there's like arrogance and defensiveness coming up in me towards that.
Well,
And yeah,
I think you need to look at the bigger picture.
okay,
Because
what does that help me?
the belief or the idol of friendship, the belief that you need friends, it hurts you.
Well, it's funny because like I'm not sure I really think I need friends. Like I feel such a like, but then I'm doing this thing, I'm pathologizing myself. Like, oh, there's something wrong with me. Like I'm curious to hear what you're talking about because I thought the idol that I was triggered by was this like this belief of like your special identity in the world. But I don't understand the friendship thing. Maybe you could say a little more about that. Maybe I'm missing something here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important to see about the motivation, you know, when you decide to go and meet her, for example, what is it for? Because it's going to become more and more tricky to do
Yeah.
anything that isn't for extending, for that isn't spirit coming through you.
Okay.
You can't really can't anymore be where there is no welcome for spirit. Because you're more and more spirit, you are spirit, and you're more and more discovering that. But I would say also, yeah, she's reflecting self-doubt. Like you're just in your house. Okay, the ego is bombarding you with some.
Yeah, like basically, I mean, to sum it up, I mean, I'm telling you a story, but like the feeling was like, I'm a loser. I mean, I hate to be so graphic. I walked away like, I'm a loser. There's something like totally wrong with me. And I'm being looked at with like eyes of pity. Like this friend is like looking at me like it's what I felt. I was like, she's looking at me like I'm pitiful. And I thought, this is fascinating. Like, even though I was actually like, I was fascinated while at the same time I totally took the bait. And I feel like, well, all these people are doing great in the world stuff. I'm just like, but then when I don't feel like I'm on some kind of a good connection to my mind training, I feel like loser in the world, like loser in mind, like loser everywhere, a loser. Oh my God. And it just feels terrible. But it's like, I know I feel like a crazy person right now, but what I'll say is it feels very familiar. Like there's a belief here that's like I don't belong anywhere.
Jesus does say that the world is not your home. And I think you're just getting to a place here where you're starting to be welcomed in your discernment, like Jenny was saying, about what is truly helpful. You know, if you find yourself going into situations where spirit is not welcome, and you know, at some point you start to say, I don't know if I really want to keep doing that.
But it sounds like I wasn't clear in purpose when I went.
Yeah, it's important to see what you wanted when you went.
Yeah. Because you could go anywhere, and if you're an extension, it's like, it's great. or whatever. I mean, I'm being very basic. It feels
Anywhere you're guided, anywhere you're
anywhere
guided.
you're guided, right? Yeah, I don't know if I was guided.
But yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
not, so now we're not here to analyze this, but it
Right.
is good to see what came up, to see that these feelings came up, and you're being shown that you have some self-doubt or some doubts about your path or what you're doing, and this, I think, is common. I think
Yeah.
the ego wants to attack your path, and all these opinions, or how much time you spend at home, or yeah. I mean, I think it's important, or it's very helpful to put the friends on the altar and then let spirit really decide who to meet and when.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think I have some self-judgment to release around like being outward creates your value. It's like I'm not outward, really. I mean, I'm outward here. I'm like, this is where I want to be out. This is where I want to come, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Do you want to be real? That's it.
yeah, I know it's true. That's what I want, but it's like, I know it's
You
weird
have-
because, I
you
don't
have
really
some
want to
judgment.
talk about worldly things so much, really. Is that okay?
Yeah. You're all right. You're the swan. You're the ugly duckling that realize you're a swan.
But we're going this is the temptation there is to be us and them. We're all going home together. Like I want to just, because I can feel there's like a part of my mind that wants to push people away, like, or go into some level of like, well, I'm willing to do this, and they're, not be joined in, at least in heart.
Don't think too much.
Yeah. Okay, that's my main problem anyway.
Because it helps when you start to think of people as thoughts or representations of thoughts, and you already do that. You say, this must be my judgment.
Uh-huh.
Then you will be able to see it in a much lighter way. Which thoughts are you choosing to be with?
Yeah, that's great. Okay, thank you.
Maybe you can watch a sweet movie to kind of lighten up your heart from this. Maybe but it came to mind when you said you live in New York, because on the plane from Africa, I think, from South Africa, we watched Hello God, this is Margaret, can you hear me? That movie, have you seen that movie?
Not yet. No, I know it. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
Very sweet. And they live in New York, but then they moved to New Jersey, and it's this girl and her life.
Coming of age kind of story.
It is very, very sweet. So if you want a good movie for tonight, watch that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea.
Sorry, what was the name of the movie?
Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret.
Okay, thanks.
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, it's been beautiful to be with all of you. Have a really good rest of your day and night, and choose to rest in God. Take care.
See you next time.